Did you know there's an oak in the middle of a forgotten forest that bleeds? Yes, bleeds. This ancient tree isn't like anything you've ever heard of before. Keep listening, because this story might just make you afraid of forests for the rest of your life. Welcome, friends, to the Nightside Archive. Tonight's tale is called The Bleeding Oak of Black Hollow. In a remote town tucked away in the Appalachian Mountains sits an ancient patch of woodland known to the locals as Black Hollow. Almost no one dares to enter Black Hollow after dark, and some won't even go near it in the daylight. The reason? A tree. Not just any tree, but a monstrous, sprawling oak that seems to possess a dark awareness of its own existence. To outsiders, it might look like just another crooked ancient oak drunk on centuries of growth. But the locals know better. They call it the bleeding oak, and it has a reputation for chilling every drop of blood in your veins. The first recorded whispers of the bleeding oak originated somewhere in the late 1800s. A group of logging men had entered the hollow with the aim of harvesting the valuable timber. As they approached the great oak, one of them has swung his axe with all his might into the tree's thick trunk. What poured out wasn't sap. It was a thick, crimson liquid, warm to the touch and disturbingly human-like in consistency. The loggers fled that day, leaving their tools behind. The story goes that not one of those men ever dared step foot into the hollow again. Some even left the town altogether, as dreams of the oak haunted them endlessly. But here's where it gets stranger. The townsfolk say the tree marks you if you harm it. One of the loggers who damaged the oak reportedly aged 10 years overnight. His once sturdy frame became frail, his jet black hair turned ghostly white, and his voice grew raspy and faded, as if dragging across decades he didn't yet live to see. He wouldn't speak of what he saw, but once, just once, he muttered 4 words to a curious neighbor. "The tree is watching." Let's fast forward a bit. Decades, in fact. The bleeding oak didn't become some forgotten local ghost story. No, it seemed it wouldn't let itself fade from memory. Walkers who stumbled into the forest often reported the sensation of being watched. The forest isn't silent, one woman told her family. It's waiting. Another tale says you can hear whispers at the tree's base if you stand there long enough. Some claim it murmurs, and its whispers carry words you've heard before. Maybe a thought you once had, or a secret you swore you told to no one. In the years that followed, stories grew more disturbing. A young teen dared his friends to carve a heart into the oak to leave a sign of their visit behind. They found his knife by the tree. But the boy, he wasn't seen for a week. When he did resurface, he was covered in thin, spiraling scars that coiled from his ankles all the way up to his neck. He couldn't, or wouldn't, explain what had happened. He just sat in catatonic silence, eyes distant, pupils blown, fixated as though he were locked in an endless nightmare. You might be wondering, why hasn't anyone destroyed the tree? There's something chilling about that question. A former park ranger, Charles Dunning, took an interest in the tree in the early 70s. When asked why no one simply chopped it down and burned it, his answer was unnervingly simple. Take a tool to that oak and see how long you live. Charles himself had anecdotes. He talked of a man, not from the town, who tried to harvest an acorn from the bleeding oak to prove the tree was just a legend. A seed that bleeds and whispers would make one heck of a museum exhibit, don't you think? But here's the darker part of the tale. He never reached home. His truck was found abandoned at the edge of Black Hollow. His family wasn't notified until volunteers uncovered his belongings beneath the oak nearly a month later. A pale scarf of mist surrounded its base that day, they said, as though the tree was exhaling secrets too foul to keep inside. Some scientists have tried studying it, though research is shrouded in speculation since none seem to publish their findings. One botanist remarked, "I believe the oak exhibits hemoglobin in its fluids, hinting at human-like properties within the tree." It perplexed him as much as it unsettled him. Others believe the oak belongs to its own genus entirely, something ancient, something the mountains shielded from human eyes for centuries until the loggers cut too deep. In modern times, very few dare to visit Black Hollow, apart from thrill-seeking vloggers and adrenaline junkie adventurers. One viral story documented by an online explorer shows video footage of the tree. At first, you see nothing but its size, a behemoth of twisted branches clawing at the sky. Then the camera caught something far worse, a fresh streak of red dripping down from where two branches met. Something alive, or perhaps a warning. The vlogger posted one last cryptic video months later, muttering unusual phrases in a slurred monotone. He vanished soon after. Conspiracies on Reddit buzzed for weeks about his fate. You'd think by now Black Hollow would be roped off, guarded to keep the curious out. But there's no signage restricting you from approaching the place. Maybe the town thinks the whispering rumors are enough of a deterrent. Or maybe no one ever returns from their first visit. Legend has it, the oak quietly feeds on those who disturb it. Perhaps it thrives on stolen time, aging you to wither away prematurely. Or maybe the tree is just biding time, harvesting secrets to unearth something far worse than bleeding bark. Do you believe the stories? Would you lean close enough to the bleeding oak to hear it whisper your name? Or are you certain the myths are just that, tales born of superstition? Either way, the hollow waits. Its silence has weight. Its whispers, teeth. If the stories gave you chills, beware the forests near your own home. You never know where the next bleeding oak might grow.